You're listening to LSPN, the authority on sports-related podcasts.
Welcome to the Vandegrift Football Show. I'm your host, Chris Daly, and each week I will sit down with Coach Drew Sanders, and we will talk about Vandegrift Vipers football. Hey, we want to give a big thanks to Michael and Christina Underwood, the Underwood team, for sponsoring the show. Family-owned and operated, accredited luxury specialists, and proud supporters of Viper Nation. The Underwood team, your Vandegrift Viper area real estate experts. All right, everybody, join me in welcoming Coach Drew Sanders. First off, congratulations on the big win against Vista Ridge.
Yes, thank you, Chris. Appreciate it.
Yeah, talk to me about the flow of that one because low-scoring affair, but you had more than enough to win. Yeah,
I mean, it was kind of like I expected heading into the game. I thought points would be at a premium. I think there were two good defenses. You know, Vista's strength of their team has always been their defense. They put a lot of good players on that side, and particularly their front is their strength. They have really big D-line and strong linebackers, and so I was so impressed with their offense and our ability to sustain drives. We had a hiccup after the half where we had 2 3-and-outs. But other than that, man, we sustained drives. Mm-hmm. And then the best thing about the whole night was we had a 7.5-minute drive and kept the ball away from them when we were holding on to a close lead. I mean, it was a playoff football game. And on top of that, we were at their stadium, and they had about 7,000 or 8,000 people on their side of the stadium. It was a great environment and a big win. Yeah, no doubt. And district, you know, it means everything now. So talk to me about the defense because holding anybody to 10 points is pretty impressive. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, you know, I mean, we've been trying to claw our way out of the points allowed hole we put ourselves in against Drip the first week. But we've done such a good job of that. And, man, I just continue to see improvement after improvement each week. Guys are figuring out how to play their position. New guys are stepping up. And to hold them to 10 points, I'll tell you, they had first and goal from the 1 late in the second half, and we held them to a field goal. It was just an unbelievable series where we just refused to back down. We bulled our neck and stopped them on the 1 on first, and then they got a penalty, and so now they're back at the 6, and then 2 downs on the 6. We stopped them and knocked the ball out. They recovered, and they ended up having to kick a field goal. So just a tremendous showing there. We shut them out in the second half. So tremendous showing, no touchdowns at least. So tremendous showing from our defense.
Love that. I love that. Now, this time of year, I like to ask about grades, how everybody did grades-wise.
Yeah, we always do good. You know, Vandegrift we have so many high-achieving kids. It's probably a great way to say that. Mm-hmm. And it starts with high-achieving parents. And our parents expect so much from their kids. I love it. And they're always asking us to do more. And hey, coach, can you get on to him about this or whatever? Yeah. Like they love for us to hold them to high standards. And man, we probably had a 99.5% passing rate. We may have had. I got about 295 kids. We might have had 3 kids that failed in the whole program. So just really, really impressed with our group. And now, don't get me wrong, there was a week of me getting on to some guys about it not turning in a project. I mean, they are still high school kids. But overall, they're amazing.
Nice. And I also like to check in about sub-varsity. How has the sub-varsity been doing?
Sub-varsities have been doing great. We have just getting better and better. I think our JV silver team, which is our B team, is undefeated, and everybody else I think has 1 loss maybe. Mm-hmm. Our freshmen, they might have 2, but we're undefeated in the district. So we all had a nice win last week. We swept Vista Ridge all levels, and so I was just really proud of all the sub-varsity teams. Excellent.
Well, we have a home game this time, Round Rock McNeil, and you've got a connection with their head coach. Explain that.
Yeah. For those that don't know, you know, Coach Hermes was a defensive coordinator here for 4 or 5 years. I'm not quite sure, but a while, and just an amazing coach and one of my best friends too, and he has just done such a great job, which I knew he would. And this is probably his best team. Yeah, it's probably his best team he's had since he's been there. This is his 5th year, and so they're definitely going to give us a challenge. But yeah, it's funny because He is definitely going to be running a version of our defense, so you'll recognize their defense as you watch the game as a fan. But yes, I'm very proud of what he's accomplished. He's a great person. We talk really. It's pretty funny because we talk every week, but we haven't spoken to each other. We don't talk to each other this week. It's pretty funny. So we'll see each other on Friday night.
I love that. And as far as like opponents, in such a big district, it's rare that you meet somebody this late in the season and only one like opponent. That's at some point. They beat them 56-21, so they put double on Stony Point what y'all did. But defensively, they gave up a lot more. Yeah,
it sounds like it's about the same margin, which I would expect. Yeah. They're playing a little different game than we are at the moment. Mm-hmm. But they still won. We won. But you got to be careful, and you know this. You've watched a lot of football. Like trying to go by points of a game, it just doesn't work. Otherwise, you wouldn't even need to play the game. Like, okay, well, we beat this person by this point. I mean, but what you are looking for is did they complete the game? Did they finish the game off? And they did. So did we. And so I think you're going to see a good game on Friday night.
Yeah, and you look at the records right now and how you did last year, and you think, this should be a win. But we're talking a half a game separating first place to fifth place in the district right now. So anything can happen, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's why you play the game. If people don't understand that, they don't know much about sports. This is 6A football. It's a lot like high level college football. Like they have amazing players. They're coached amazingly well.
Yeah.
And so yes, while we have gotten the best of them the last few games, that doesn't have a ton of bearings. Like when if they score on us on Friday night, I can't yell across the field and say, "Hey, we beat y'all last year." It doesn't work like that. So, while I am glad for the past, it's every year's new. But that's part of actually what's really fun about this thing is like last year, it doesn't matter anymore. Like you've got to buck up and figure out how to do it this year with this team, and that's one of the most fun parts about this thing.
I love it. And speaking of fun, you've got a couple events going on at the stadium. You talk about the junior high kids and then the foundation you want to talk about.
Yeah. We've got middle school nights, so that's always fun. I don't know if any of our middle school parents listen to the podcast, but they should because, they're the future of our program. And so I always love that. I go around, shake everybody's hand. And of course, I'll know half of them, because they've been coming to my camps and stuff. And so that's always a fun night. And then we have another person or group we're recognizing called the Grayland Spring Foundation. Mm-hmm. And the Grayland Spring Foundation was founded by his mom and his dad, Gary and Krista Spring. Grayland was tragically killed in a car accident. He played for me. And Grayland was killed his freshman year in college at SFA, and he played for me and played on the team that went to the state quarterfinals and eventually losing to Westlake that year in 21. He was one of our best players in our team that year and obviously went on to play at SFA, so was a great player. But the best thing about Grayland was who he was. Yeah. I could actually talk a long time about him and how he inspired me, and he inspired me actually before he passed. He was always one of the young men I looked up to. He lived out his faith. He was a hard worker, and what everybody will tell you, he was just an amazing friend to everybody. And there wasn't a time that he was a Viper that I ever asked him to try harder or do something. Like he always was there. He never missed. He did everything we asked him to do. So we really miss him. But his mom and dad had founded this foundation in his honor, and Grayland was an organ donor. Mm-hmm. And so this is an organization to encourage people to help them sign up for being an organ donor, because so many lives are changed when people do that. In this tragic scenario, still people's lives were changed in a positive way. And so that's what his parents are doing. We're in full support of that. Yeah. And so just wanted to mention that. And they'll be at the game. Mom and Dad will be at the game on Friday night, two of my favorite people in the whole world. And we get the chance to recognize and bring this up. And they also do scholarships through this foundation for several deserving young people, young athletes from Vandegrift. So that's very cool. Anyway, thanks for giving me a chance to talk about that.
Of course. And I love that. I feel like I got to know Grayland through his mom because I had her on another show. And And so, yeah, the things, the work they do, the work he did, you know, it's so impressive, and we have to give him a shout out anytime we can.
Yes, for sure.
Cool. Well, good luck this week. Hopefully, we're knocking down another district win and keeping things rolling.
Okay. Thanks, Chris.
Did you play Texas high school football? If you did, you're part of an elite group, the Brotherhood of Texas High School Football. All football players, past and present, who have ever suited up in the Lone Star State are eligible. Go to LoneStarGridiron.com/brotherhood. And thank you for the part you played in the greatest sport in the greatest state.